Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Welcome to Conscious Radio Network. We have a special guest today. Intuitive card reader, Evie Williams.
Yes.
Evie Williams is an intuitive card reader. She reads many different oracle decks, including Angel, Fairy, and Tarot. She is self-taught, has been reading cards since 1978, and uses her intuition in conjunction with the cards as a tool to help connect with the higher self for motivation, inspiration, and upliftment out of the negative feelings of confusion and moving you into a positive mindset. Her goal is to help you feel at ease about decisions you need to make in order to move forward in your journey to a happier life, and by allowing Spirit to come forward and speak through her and give the answers to you that Spirit knows you're ready to hear. Sometimes Spirit's answers are happy, and sometimes they are sad. But Spirit knows you are sitting before Evie, to hear the truth. I welcome everybody, Evie Williams, and this is the first time she's been in the studio. Welcome, Evie. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Awesome. And we had a meal before this. We had to get some Cuban food. That was a great Cuban deli. So if you're in the Claremont area, it's probably free advertisement, but this place is awesome. It's really quaint, family owned. But Troy's Cuban Deli here in the Claremont, Florida area. So anywho, let's get to the show. So set the timer. Woo! Almost forgot that. So, Evie, welcome again to the studio here. You are the second guest that has been able to bless us with your presence.
Thank you. And, I'm so happy to be here.
Awesome. So let's dive into the work you've done or have been doing since '78. So, what drew you to this means of modality of mediumship?
Actually, I had dreams, a lot of dreams from a very, very young girl, but I had no idea that I had these abilities. But after my mom passed in 1976, that took me on a whole different road.
Oh, yeah.
And there were times, especially back at that time, spirituality really was kind of taboo. And you didn't go to readers or anything else like that. But there were times when I felt very much alone and I needed answers. And so I just picked up a deck of cards one day from a gift shop that I went to in Tarrytown, New York. It was called Razzmatazz.
Oh, wow.
And I saw these beautiful tarot cards and I'm like, oh, well, let me take these home. And then I took the most beautiful ones out and I made a collage out of them, hung them up on the wall. And one day, a couple of years later, I was like, you know what? I really need some answers. And so I took the cards down off the wall, and there was a book that went with it.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, I'm just going to sit down and I'm going to try to learn how to read these things. And I just sat down with the book.
Yeah.
And funny, I went to visit a guy. I didn't really know him. I met his cousin at a party one time in Brooklyn, New York. And he was home. He was visiting his cousin who lived in Brooklyn for the summer.
Yeah.
And I was a school teacher at the time. I had the summers off, and he said, would you take me around? So I said, okay. I went down and I met his family. And somehow I got into a conversation with his cousin about cards. And he said, oh, would you do a reading for me? And I said, I've only been reading the cards for 2 weeks. I don't know how to read the cards.
Yeah.
So I sat down with the cards. He begged me, please, please, please. So I said, okay, next time I come down to visit, I'll bring the cards. I did. I gave him a reading. I said, you have to understand. I don't understand. I have to use the book. So I used the book in conjunction with the cards, and he was like, "My God, you were really good."
Yeah.
I was like, "Is he crazy?" I didn't see it, but then I started reading for family and friends, and they were all telling me how good I was with it, and I was like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
So I just kept on and kept on, and before I knew it, I was able to read without the book. And periodically I have to go back to the book every once in a while because there'll be something that will stump me.
Yeah.
But I'll go and I'll pick it back up. But that's really how I got my start. And then my family kept pushing me, and my friends kept saying, "You need to be reading for other people."
Yeah.
For the longest. So 1978, I didn't come out and start reading for the public until 2017.
Wow.
So that was a long
Yeah.
time in the closet.
Yeah.
Reading
Wow.
on my own. So,
Yeah.
and then when I got out in the public, that was confirmation that
That
I
gave
was
you
doing
that gave you enough time to, and the confidence level too, because I mean that is quite a bit amount of time. But at the same time, when you think, I look at it as you've mastered it.
Yes.
You came out of that closet, but you became out of the closet as a master, so to
Yes.
speak. I mean that to me that's quite a bit of time. In other words, you didn't. So I don't give myself enough credit for the things that I do, or the things that I claim that I want to do, or how to do, or helping people. But it's like, we all help each other
Right.
in very unique ways, and we are our own worst critic.
Yes, we
We
are.
don't give ourselves enough credit for the things that that we claim to really want to do and do well. Mm-hmm. So it's like we hide it away and only do it for friends and family.
Exactly. So when I started doing it for the public, and I started seeing almost immediately, like the very first psychic fair that I did in Sarasota, that went really well. The very second one, I had repeat customers, and I started noticing that there were lines of people
Yeah.
waiting to come to me. The psychic fair was very crowded, but I could still tell, because sometimes when I'm reading and I'm in that zone, sometimes my eyes are still wandering.
Yeah.
And so I'll pick up other people that are present, focusing but not focusing on them because I'm in the zone for the
Yeah.
reading. But I'll still be aware of their presence, and I can see some of them watching me. I can tell that some of them are like, you know what, do I really want to go to this person? But they don't leave because they're still around.
Yeah.
And then they end up sitting in front of me, stuff like that. And so one thing led to another, and more people started referring me, and other people would just come and show up. And I will admit there have been a few. You don't hit that mark 100% of the time.
Yeah.
But I would say about at least 95, 96% of the time, people walk away and they feel happy. Sometimes they're a little sad because what comes before me, I have to tell the truth about what it is that I see. But so sometimes it's sad, and many times it's very happy. I would say happy more often than sad, and that makes me feel better too.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
they walk away from it and they're like, "You're really good, thank you very much," and they come back.
Nice. Now, since 2017, since you've been doing this for the public, these are all public events, right? These are like expos and stuff, or
Yeah, mostly psychic fairs.
Okay.
And then there are times when, because of that, I've had people that contact me because I always give my business cards out.
Yeah,
Or a
yeah.
brochure. So I've had a few people contact me through email and ask me to give them a reading via the telephone.
Yeah.
Because I travel all over, so sometimes I'm not in the vicinity. And so I do readings over the phone,
Yeah.
which is really good. And that works out really well too. But my preference is to have the person right in front of me.
Yeah.
That's even better because they can see everything, the cards, everything, and we're right next to each other. So I can feel the vibrations. Not that I can't feel them when they're not physically in front of me because I can, but it's just a more conducive environment for them to be in my presence.
So more of a connection. You get a better energetical connection with the person that you're reading for, being in person. I felt, I can contest to that too. I can validate that as far as through mediumship and stuff. I'd rather read for somebody who is right there with me. That way I can connect with their energy.
Right.
I've done stuff, through, and now Zoom today, all this conference calls and stuff like that. Now you can see the person.
Right.
And
but, that works.
And yeah, that does work,
But it's better when you're in the physical environment together.
Yeah.
That's why I drove up here to see you today.
That's why she's in the
studio.
studio. Energy.
Right. Yep. It's much better that way. So
yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That's very, very interesting.
Yeah.
So one of the other things that I find that when I'm helping other people get to their comfort zone, I get into a certain zone when I'm reading, and I also find that certain readings, it's like a growing phase for me as well. So the energy is coming through me speaking, but there's something that's there that's taking me to a different level.
Yeah.
And it makes me think about it later on when the reading is over. So it takes me to a different spiritual level as well.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen with everybody, but they're just certain individuals that...
So like if you were to do a reading with somebody and you gave them the details during the actual reading, but something might come to you later from that reading that you may have to share later on with that person, going, wait a second, something actually came to me after the reading that I would like to share with you as an addition to the reading.
Yes, that happens sometimes too, because there's a certain kind of like effluvia or whatever that you're sharing.
Yeah.
And then, so sometimes the spirit doesn't, it's like, okay, let's look at it this way. Usually at the psychic fair, you're limited because there's a time frame there. There's so many other people that want a reading. So there's times when you go over, and sometimes there's times when you're finished before the time is up, or you're finished right on time.
Yeah.
But most of the time, it's like I'm spilling over a little bit because the spirit's not ready to stop.
Yeah.
And just because
they don't have no time clock.
Right. Yeah, that clock rang, but the spirit is still like, nope, you got to keep going.
Yeah.
So, depending on what it is that the spirit wants that person to know, sometimes some of those things stay with me later, and sometimes a few days later, and I've even had situations where a couple of weeks later, there'll be things that come to me. I'm not in touch with that particular individual that came to me.
Yeah.
That information came through, but I'll have to ask the spirit to please turn it off.
Yeah.
Because it just wants to, there's something about it lingering. I don't know exactly what it is that's there, but it wants to hang around a little bit. And sometimes if the person is close enough, I can pick up the phone and say, hey, there's something else that you need to know. And then I'll just go from there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it's very interesting, but there are certain people. Okay, so most people come to you and they sit down and they want to know about their home life, their family life, their boyfriend, their girlfriend, their jobs, things like that. That's kind of standard, and everybody wants to know that.
Yeah.
Their families, mother, father, stuff like that. But then there are others that come that besides that general stuff, there'll be something much deeper that the spirit wants the person to know. And that is when I find that to be something that raises my spirituality to a higher level, because I'm like floored when this comes through me, because I'm like, well, how on earth would I know that? Because I'm in a human body just like everybody else.
Yeah.
So when I go through my day to day just like everybody else. I have my ups and downs just like everybody else. But then there's times there's just certain things that it is impossible for me as a human being to know that.
Mm-hmm.
So when the spirit comes through me and it tells me that, sometimes the person on the other side is shocked, and other times they're like, wow, I know that, and they'll confirm what it is that I'm saying, which is really good, because when they confirm it, then it makes it easier for the spirit to continue to talk through you to them, because they've accepted it. And so the spirit says, okay, I don't have any blocks in the way, and I can just continue to give the information out.
And it also, with that happening, it eliminates our own self-doubt. Because I noticed, like I said earlier, is like we sabotage ourselves all the time by not giving ourselves enough credit. So when stuff like that happens, when scenarios like that happens through mediumship, and you get confirmation from a person you've read, you've given a reading to, and they're like, they confirm it, it now tells you, is like, whoa, this really works.
And it's what, I'm past the point of, wow, this really works. But I'm not past the point with, wow, how would I know that?
Yeah.
That is the thing that really, and I catch myself, so I'm just like, wow. Right in front of the person, it's like, how do I know something like that? Or I'll laugh or whatever, not laugh hysterically, anything like that, but it just kind of, for lack of a better word, it kind of tickles me to understand that I've tapped into something that I didn't know that I could tap into, because you don't always see yourself as actually tapping in.
Yeah.
So when it happens and you're getting confirmation on the other side, it's like, whoa, okay, let me keep on. Let me finish telling them what else it is that's coming through. And then the reading usually is not over when that depth of information comes through. So whatever else it is that you have to say, you just let it flow. And then there'll inevitably be something else that's a little bit deeper, that you begin to realize, okay, this is deeper than what I thought. But it's not about what I thought. It's about the thoughts that are coming through in words to transfer it to other people. Because sometimes when I'm speaking and I'm reading the cards or whatever, I'll be looking at it, and I'll see the picture, but a thought will come and the words come out, and then it's like, okay, this is kind of like water. And I know at certain times when it's not my voice that's doing the talking. Because the way the words come out of my mouth, they have a certain feeling on my lips.
Yeah.
Other than the way the words feel on a day-to-day basis. And even sometimes when I'm reading, it still feels kind of normal to me, but there'll be some times when those words, I know they're not my words because of the way that they exit my mouth.
Yeah.
That is like, that is like, oh my God, that is, I'm going to use the word delicious because I don't have any other way to describe it.
Yeah, it's like a smooth, soft, and it's like, it doesn't take any energy.
No energy. Is super gentle, super soft, that just comes through and it just glides out so easily. No stress, no nothing. And it's not like a hard energy pushing, nothing like that. It just comes across your mouth so gently.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow.
Yeah. With no thought, and that's what's interesting too, with no thought behind it. Like, you didn't have to think of what you were about to say. It just, it's like when we were having a discussion earlier about channeling. If I get into these states of trance and I start speaking in tongues, and start chanting and singing these words and saying these things and phrases and stuff. And it's obviously in a different language I know nothing about. It took no energy to convey this information.
Mm-hmm.
But
and bam, it's right
and
there.
And bam, it's boom, here it is.
Yeah. And sometimes you can feel your body moving and going with the flow, and you're like, it's almost like you're outside of yourself, looking at yourself, going through it. So sometimes when you're outside of yourself, looking at yourself, you're also, your thought form is like looking at what it is that your body is going through, almost as if you were a different person.
Yeah.
Watching somebody, or you're over here and you're watching a different person here, but that
like
different person is
it's like
you.
watching somebody else drive your car.
Yeah.
Like, drive it for a while. I got to step away.
Even though I'm right there behind the wheel, okay? I got you. Yeah, that's exactly right. And those are very special moments.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a certain auric field around you. I don't know if that's what you experience when you experience the things that you're going through, but sometimes when I'm in that zone, there's a certain, I don't particularly care for the word bubble, but I'm going to use it because that's the most descriptive way that I can describe it. Yeah, but it's like there's something in this round.
Yeah.
And
it's
you're like in the middle of
it's like it's like a capsule. It's like you're in this capsule, or you're in this field of energy.
And it's warm.
It's warm. It's buzzing.
Comfortable.
It's buzzing. It's like it's vibrating at a and there's times when I get into trance and stuff like that, I'll feel this vibration. It's like it's humming and it's oscillating at a frequency that's so high to the point where you're almost forced to kind of like leave your body and just, I'm like, okay, hold on, I'll let you take over.
It's a completely different feeling, but it's very comfortable.
Yeah.
And you know when you're in that zone, that because of the feeling that you're feeling, and then when the thoughts and the words are coming through, it's just so easy to just let it flow.
Yeah.
But it's a really nice feeling.
It is. It's comfortable. It feels. It's that feeling of comfort. Like it's like this layer of protection. Like
yes.
Almost.
You feel protected.
Like you're in a cocoon of some sort, and it's like nothing can harm me. Nothing can attack me. I'm protected.
Yes, and even though you may not be thinking in terms of being protected, because let's put it this way, to me, you don't have any fear at that moment.
Yeah.
Fear is not anywhere around. It's just like you're free to just let it go. You're in the right place at the right time at the right moment.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Yeah. Now, for people who want to get a personal reading with you outside of the expos and stuff, how can they contact you? You do have a website, correct?
I do. Right. It's www.fairydustcardreadings with an S on the end.com.
Awesome, and we will have that on our description on the YouTube channel, down in the description of the broadcast. I've got a bunch of card decks. I got some Oracle card decks. I have an old Rider-Waite deck, but I also have this deck here. I believe I found this in Casadega. I think I found this in Casadega, but it was kind of ironic because it was the only card deck of its kind, and at that time too. This is quite a few years ago.
Yeah, these are old. I can
this
tell.
is the Masonic Tarot deck. And I had to get it only because
Spirit
told me to get it. So what we're gonna do is I offered this onto the table today to do a reading, and this is very familiar. This is actually quite similar to the Rider-Waite deck as far as the symbols and stuff like that. And,
well, the suits.
And the suits are actually very,
the
pretty much
same.
are
They're the same as the
very
Rider
same.
deck.
Yeah.
The symbols are just a little bit different.
Yeah.
But the suits are the same. So if you know how to read the Rider Waite deck, you should be able to read these too. There may be a few cards in here that might be a little bit different that you don't really know.
Yeah.
Because this is my first time seeing this deck. I didn't know it was in existence.
And I've had it in the box for quite some time. I actually have been moving them around and stuff. And
I'm
kind
going to
of
let you shuffle
doing
some.
All right.
And then let's move this over this way.
Yeah, let's put this. Until I get the new table for the studio, I got a friend of mine. I'm going to give him credit where credit is due.
Okay.
An old friend of mine, Mike. If you want a custom table, let me know. I'll hook you up. He might be a sponsor for our show. So.
Right. Okay, Mikey, come on.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so zoom in.
So usually I have a person sit in front of me and I ask them to shuffle the cards and think about what they want to know while they're shuffling, because I need their thoughts and their energies to go into the cards. And then I ask them not to stop shuffling until they feel that it's a natural time for them to stop.
Yeah.
And then when they do that, then I ask them to cut them in threes, put them back together. And when they give the cards back to me, that's when I start the clock. So when they're thinking and shuffling at the same time, it's really amazing because literally the energies really are going in there. And sometimes people come and they come sit before me because there's a specific question that they want an answer to. So I don't ask them to tell me what it is. But when I read the cards, it's not answering the question that they sat down for, even though they shuffled it in it. Because there's something that's either about to happen or that's going on in the person's life at that moment, where the spirit says, this is the most important thing that you need to know right now.
Yeah.
And so that'll show. And then after I read that and we've got that clarified, if they had other questions, then we focus on that, and then I can get the answer that way. But more often than not, the spirit tells people what they want, what the spirit wants that person to know.
Yeah.
So, okay. This is, where's my glasses? Here we go. This is Saturn.
Oh, Saturn, yeah.
So, this is the first card. This is the devil. So, it's not a bad looking devil.
I know.
So I'm going to say, yeah, that's the nicest looking devil I've ever seen in any of the decks that I've ever done.
He almost looks like the Buddha.
Yeah.
A version of the Buddha.
And he's in between the columns, which is pretty good. He looks like this particular one. He looks like he's in the place of judgment, and he's in between two men. So one is really dressed. He looks like he could be possibly a butler, or not necessarily, but he's got a suit on.
Yeah.
And then here's one from the ancient days, because he just has a robe on. So I would say that in between these two pillars, I would say that there's something earthbound that that's right on top of you that you're going through right now. So this isn't demonic. Some cards I'll get from the devil that there may be a health problem going on, but I don't feel that with you. I feel like there's something. You may be at the point where you need to make a decision about something. You're not exactly sure what to do. So I would say more of your past life is
speaking to the now.
Yeah, to this present life and where it is that you want to go. It's very much attached. So this is good. Also, the devil also brings restrictions sometimes. So I would say that because this is from your past life and now and the present, it's saying that you have to stop and think more about what it is going inside yourself, about what it is that's going on from your deep past life, because he looks like to me, and also there's a lizard.
Oh yeah, the lizard.
That's on that, right. That's on that. So it has to do with nature. And he's dressed mostly with nature. He's almost naked.
Yeah.
Okay. So
It's like he's destitute. This is coming into the world with little tools, with little information, but then because I'm also looking at it as in the Masonic aspect of it.
well, you just took the words right out of my mouth. And the reason why I lifted the card up was to see if he had a book in his hand. He doesn't, but the present has paper.
Yeah.
So there's a message. There's a message there that's coming to you from your, I'm going to say, shamanic past. Because even though he's dressed like this, he looks like he's more like a king or something like this. This man has spiritual knowledge.
Yeah.
And so there's a message coming. And the devil being here says that I'm trying to get your attention. There's something else that's there. I need you to stop and go deeper into yourself, because there's something deep that's there, deep message that's there. Actually, that's a very positive card. I'm very happy about that. Usually when I see the devil, I'm like, oh no. Okay,
I know,
but that's
right?
not
Or
bad
the
at
death
all.
card. I mean, people don't want to see the death card.
Right. Now look at this. This is gold. This is the Four of Pentacles.
Oh, okay.
And it's crossing it. So this, and it also has to do with land. So this and that lizard has to deal with land and nature as well. And it's on the shamanic side. So there's something else more about the land and I'm going to say your money. But in this case, I'm going to say that it's not just your regular standard fiat money, it's the minerals. So it's
the natural resources.
Yeah, the natural resources, the actual gold. Literally gold.
Huh.
I feel like you need to go digging in your yard a little bit. Not real deep.
Yeah.
And I don't think you're going to find physical gold.
But something that could be representative to gold.
Yeah, maybe a stone, a rock, or whatever, something, and it has to do with your spirituality.
Yeah.
So there's some kind of answer. There's a message that's there. So there may be a spot. You'll be told where you should go and dig. Okay, look at that. There's more gold.
Oh, 3.
Yeah.
4.
Now this one is holding on. This is holding on tight to your gold. This one is building.
Ah, okay.
It's the
adding to what I already have.
Yeah, so it means that there's more money coming in, and this has to do the position. Position also talks to you. The card has a meaning, and the position has a meaning. First one is right on top of you. This is you. That's what's literally on top of you. So your deep spiritual self, this is very important in order for you to get the answer that you need. That's what's right on top of you. That's the most important thing. Then you have the land, the gold. So there's something that you have to go digging for, and you already have. It's like there's work. This could also represent, because it's 3, so it could represent the possibility of more money coming in recently. It started coming in. Or this may come from your past. There may be something about this land that holds more mineral value or whatever it is. But let's see what else is here. This is the King of Mallets. This is the King of Wands, which is a lot of energy. And this is like your past. So this is the more distant past. This is the recent past. So either someone, and he's got this mallet, and what do you do with a mallet? It's like a hammer, right?
Yeah.
So it's work. there's some more work you need to do on your land.
Yeah.
Were you knowing that already?
Not really.
Nope.
Or it could be the...
Here's the moon that says it's hidden. The moon says it's hidden.
Yeah, because he's hoodwinked.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, he's blindfolded. He's sitting at the table, though.
Yeah.
He's sitting right at the table. But look, there's something deep down inside because it's hidden. It's something underneath. And it has to do... This is a skeleton. So I would say that you have to dig down and take the layers off the top to get down to what's underneath. So it might be something to do with minerals in your land.
Yeah.
Let's see. And here's the chalices. This is cups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 cups. This is your immediate future. I'm going to say you're not ready to do it yet. Because the 5 cups is like turning away from. This is emotional. So there may be other things that's preventing you. And that's what the devil is, because it stops you. But there may be some emotional things that are preventing you from actually going deeper within yourself. Yet there's still the opportunity is still there. So this is your immediate future. So it may be something that you say, and I'm not exactly sure what it is, but you may say to yourself deep down inside, there's something that's there that you want to do, or you know that is something that you need to do, but yet you haven't done it. Maybe you feel like it's a little bit too difficult to do at this particular time, but search. Go ahead and do that search, because the opportunity for it is still there right in front of you. So these issues are going to be in front of your face for a little while.
Yeah.
And so, okay, here is the Fool. But that doesn't mean foolish. That means stepping outside of what you're used to doing and doing something completely different, which goes right along with this, something that you know that you really should be doing, but yet there's something that's holding you on to the way things are currently going.
Yeah.
So it's like you're not quite ready to make that move. So in your mind, you're thinking, I need to make a fresh start in a different direction. Doesn't necessarily mean moving or anything else like that, but just like maybe taking your career, because this could represent the goal, could also represent career. Okay, so maybe your career needs to go in a different direction, and that's what you really want to do deep down inside.
Yeah.
But yet, for emotional reasons, you're not ready to take that stand and go out on your own.
True.
Because
I mean, yeah, my goal right now is, rather than being employed, I'd rather be self-employed. Like doing the show and making money doing it.
that's the most important
this
thing
is the
to
most
you.
important thing, because why have to depend on somebody else to have to pay me when I can pay myself?
Exactly. So okay, so then that's what the devil is is telling you to stop and think about it.
Yeah.
To give it more, because really your heart is really with your old self. How do you incorporate your old self in today? What's going on today? So, and since money is crossing it and it's been there for quite some time, I would say that there's more money than you think is there. What's kind of holding you back is you're saying, I don't think I have enough money.
In other words, it's like the uncertainty. It's like the lack of trust.
Exactly.
It's like, how can I trust this if I don't know anything about it?
Right. And so this 4 of Golds, this is holding on to money too tight or holding on to things too tight. It's saying you need to loosen up, because this represents lack when you hold on too tight like that.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking, I'm not going to have enough. I'm not going to have enough. Where this says you got plenty. And for a long time you've had plenty. And there's more to come in. And there are people that are there that will help you along to make that move, to do the work that it is that you really want to do.
Yeah.
And this is in the past, the recent past. So I would say this doesn't mean that it's actually passing away, but what it does mean is this may have just come into view.
Yeah.
Just in your recent past, that the thoughts are coming through like that. So, and then when you have this right here in your immediate future, you're weighing all of this against the real work that you want to do, and you're a bit afraid emotionally to make that brand new step.
Yeah.
And the other reason why I say you're afraid is because this 7 position could represent like doubts, the position itself. And stepping out is the card on top of the doubts.
Yeah.
So you're doubtful, a little bit afraid to make that move, to do what it is that you really want to do. And it looks like to me that this card right here, this devil is saying to you, stop for a while, let your mind be quiet, and focus. Focus on what you really want to do, what you can bring in now. You can start bringing that in, because this is related to that as well. You can take that step if you want to, but you're fearful of taking it. But it's saying, you know what? The way that you're doing things in the present is not necessarily the right way. This ability to make this money and not feel so fearful about it is right literally on top of you.
Man, I feel that way too. I feel like here is the gold mine, but it's like
so this is
turning on the water.
Okay, so it just hit me. This is working out of the house. So what you would do is, if you let go of the job, you would do all your work out of the house. This would be where you generate your money.
Yeah.
And the 4 also represents home. So you would be doing that work out of the house. The money's there. And it's been there. It's been there. You got to trust yourself more. Here's the high priestess.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I mean not the high priestess, the high priest.
The high priest.
So you are a man. This is you. This represents that you have everything that you need to be successful at what it is that you want. This is in your environment, right next to that. Right next to your immediate future. So I'm going to say let go of that fear, because you can do it. What you should, I would recommend is, what you should do is ease your way out. This one says,
don't take the leap. Just leap.
Don't leap. This one says, let me just jump. Okay, and it's not wrong to jump sometimes. But the thing about it is, when you jump, you don't know what's on the other side. And that's a part of the fear.
You don't want to jump into shallow water and then get injured or something happen.
Exactly.
And that's the thing, I've always been like that. I've been cautious. Before I make a huge move, I try to get things lined up and then leap with these contingencies already lined up. It's like I'm a strategic, it's like I'm a master of war. It's like I strategize.
Well, you are definitely a master.
Yeah.
You are definitely a master. And I know this based on conversations that we've had. But this confirms it, this card right here.
Yeah. And this is the high priest. This is the high priest card.
Yeah, that's the magician.
Wow.
That's the magician.
Yeah.
All right, so you have everything. You can manifest what you want and bring it right down to the earth plane. And these cards, the gold, says that as well. It's right here. It's this land. Here's where you need to do your digging. And it isn't physically outside. I was thinking earlier it might be. Yeah. Okay, guess who else is here? Death. Okay, this is a really positive card. When this comes up, a lot of people think, "Oh my God, this is not a physical death."
Yeah, it's a shifting. It's the bye-bye to one thing and the transition into another.
Once it's like this goes with this. Once you make that step over, you can't. When you jump off the table, if let's say you were like Alice in Wonderland, and
Yeah.
you're shrunk down to a little thing. Once you jump over that table, you can't get back up there.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, the door is closed. This closes the door. Death closes the door. So when you make that change, and this is in your thoughts and desires. So I would say you really, really deeply want to close that door on the way you've been doing. I would say on your job, and you really want to close the door and just go out on your own. And okay, this is the bottom card. This is the Knave of Chalices. So that's a message, but that wasn't the next card. I'm going to tell you that in a minute. Okay, here's the King of Cups. So this is like father, emotional, and I would say this is your father. It's connection that's supporting you. He's supporting you and doing what it is you want to do. So I was saying he's talking to you. This is the message that came off the bottom of the deck.
Yeah.
So I would say, listen to your father for messages.
All right.
Sometimes he'll come to you in dreams, but also you can hear.
Yeah. Clairaudience.
Yes, you can hear.
Yeah.
So he's saying, I just want you to listen. I just want you to listen because I know that you can hear. Okay, and then here's the Hangman. He said there will be some sacrifices that you do have to make. So when you make that leap forward, there's certain things that you won't be able to do before. It'll have to build up a little bit. All right, perfect example. When I first decided that I was going to go out and read in the public, I had a job. I was working out of the house. I had a job, and it was very frustrating to me after a while. And I said to myself, I need to really get out, push myself forward, reading the cards, let my spiritual side come forward. So I remember that year, it was June 30th. And when that shift was over at 10 o'clock that night, I took my headphones off and I said, that's it, no more.
Wow.
And I closed the door. And I have not gone back that way. And my fear was being able to help support myself doing it this way. The sacrifice that I had to make was I didn't have that salary coming in on a regular basis. So I had to rely on other things to help me make it through. So I couldn't go out there and do things the way that I was doing it before. I had to hold back a little bit. But now, this is 5 years? This is 2022?
2022.
Okay, so 5 years later, my customer base is building.
Yeah.
But I kept at it.
Yeah, kept at it.
And you keep at it.
Yeah.
That's why you brought me here today.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just keep at it because it's right there for you. So it's saying you do have to make some sacrifice. Just go ahead and do that. Let's see what else is going on. The mallet. This is the three.
Three of mallets.
Yeah, so that's the 3 of wands.
Or the mallet. Yeah.
And then you'll start to see your ships coming. Keep your mouth shut, but start moving yourself out. And make your focus here and start getting more people in, more interviews.
Yeah.
Things like that. Okay? And the more you get those interviews, that means the more time that you have to take here, and you won't have as much time to do here, but the money will be coming in because you have your interviews coming here at the same time. So you're going to be fine. One more card. This is the 2 of Swords. So it still tells me that you're undecided. You can see the star, which is like the sun that's right there. Those swords are pointing up. They represent air. And so it says that you have to make the decision. And it's still a little bit hard for you. But I'm going to tell you, go ahead, you got the Ace of Swords there. That means that the difficulty, the worst of it is over. You already that's a victory.
Yeah, yeah.
So that means that you could train your mind to just when the doubts come in, say, up, that's it.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Just-
it's like those two swords. Each sword represents these two different choices. These two, well, I wouldn't say opposing things, but here are the two main choices you have, the two directions you got.
I can
But no
stay
matter
where
what,
I
I am going to be ace. I'll be an ace at either one of those two directions.
Yes, if you want to look at it that way.
Yeah.
The way I look at it, but what's most important is how you look at it.
Yeah.
Okay, but way I look at it is the fear is one choice. So I can stay with the fear and stay on the job. And the other choice is I can overcome that and make the sacrifices now in order to get what I want in the long time, in the
Yeah.
long run. And when you look at that other side of it, it's a victory on top of it. So you don't have to be as fearful.
Yeah.
So just be your mind. It's just your mind that's messing with you.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's our own mind is, and that is the problem, especially nowadays. It's like we get tied up of watching the mainstream narrative that's going on, the media, the this and that, and it's all fear based.
Yeah,
It's all trying to make us afraid of what the possibilities are.
and you don't have to.
But if we
be.
tune all that out and just focus on our higher selves, focus on life, focus on our heart, our mind,
Yeah, what's
and
coming in from deep inside.
Yeah, yeah.
Because this part, look, this is your native innate self. And where is it next to? Recently, your work that you want to do.
Yeah.
Connected to the gym. Your gym is working out of the house.
Yeah, yeah. I need to take a picture of this spread.
And okay, and then I also want to tell you one more thing. See the man, the present day man, which is you. What's it next to? This is the future, but it's next to you kind of refusing, turning down your opportunities. So there's been a few opportunities, at least 3, where you could have jumped out of that job and started working on your own.
Yeah.
But you were like, no, I'm a little fearful. Let me hold on to the job. Okay,
Yeah.
that's your future. That's your present self right now. But your innermost self, the self that truly knows, is saying, I need to work for myself. I need to stand up on my own 2 feet and do this. And here's the other thing. It's not, if this was a Page of Wands or a Knight of Wands, I would say you're not as stable in it. But you are stable. You're already established. This is a king.
Yeah, yeah.
So the king knows what it is that he wants to do. He's well thought out.
Yeah.
So it's not like you just now starting. You didn't just start this job. You've been doing it for a while. So you're already in alignment with the organization and everything else. The work that needs to be done, you've accomplished a lot of that, and you can see some of that. So the king knows, okay, now I just need to do this. I need to get a few what's the on the chessboard? What are the little
checkmates.
not checkmate, the little guys.
Oh, the pawn. The
Pawns?
The
Are
pawns?
they pawns?
Are they
Yeah.
pawns?
I
Yeah.
just need to get a few pawns to strategically place them in the right position to bring everything together.
yeah.
So that's a king's mind. So that says that you're stable. You already know. And this card right across from it, you know every single thing you need to do. You got the spiritual side, the spiritual undertones, all of that. You've already developed it.
Now I just need to implement it. I
Yeah.
need to.
Suffer. But you're going to be fine. Because you have that spiritual protection.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all around you. It's like that bubble we were talking about.
Yeah.
And then you also have the knowledge. This is what I'm seeing is I know that's a not Hebrew, but it's, for lack of a better word, a Hebrew symbol. But I see a G, which says which says to me, like Freemasonry. So you already have the knowledge and you have the protection. Look, you have the protection, so you don't have to worry. Other people are going to really suffer going through what's going through with the money and everything.
But they're not prepared.
And there'll be some sacrifices you'll have to make because we live in the environment. So, okay, example, we're paying higher prices for gas in the car.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a sacrifice because you got to take more money out to put the gas in the car. But are you dead? Do you have to...
Right.
Right. Do you have to stay in the house? No.
Yeah.
It's just like I started not to come here because of the gas prices. But my spirit said, get in the car and go.
Yeah.
And so I said, I'm going.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
and then look what happened. Because when you and I first talked about us getting together in the studio, the spirit told me you need to be in the studio. Then I was like, but the gas prices. And then I was like, no. The spirit is telling me to get in the car and go. It'll be good for you. All right. Then things that happened with my sister, I said it would be good for her to come. It wasn't about what I was doing. It's about what's going on in her life. And I felt that it would be good for her to help her in the next step she has to make in her life. She gets to make the decisions. But I'm going away from home. This would be good for her.
Yeah.
So, and then what happens? When I invited her to come, she says, oh, yeah, because I was coming by myself. She says, yeah, I'll come. And she says, and I'll pay the gas. Okay? I have not spent, except day before yesterday, I filled the car up. But I stopped at the gas station twice because I don't let it go below a quarter of a tank.
Me neither.
That's right.
As soon as I just, exactly. It's not as much of a big, impression. Yeah.
Exactly. So
as soon as I use a quarter, I'm like, put some more gas in it.
To the gas station. Before that, when the prices were better, I never let it go below a half a tank.
Yeah.
My dad said, don't do that because of condensation and everything else. So I never let it go beyond half a tank.
Yeah.
But now I don't let it go beyond a quarter of a tank. But I stopped twice.
Yeah.
She paid for it.
Wow.
And so I listened to the spirit. I didn't have to take a penny out of my pocket for the gas to come, which is really, really good.
Yeah.
Plus she paid for us to eat. And she didn't have to.
God bless her. Thank you again. Thank you. She's on the back porch, so
she can hear you. So that's what I'm saying. It'll be sacrifices, but they'll be small. So trust yourself. Trust yourself to focus on this. I think you had a wonderful reading.
The first one was good. In Sarasota.
Oh, I don't even remember what that was about.
I just wish I could remember. All I know is it was good.
Well, you know what? When we do a reading, you can always record it if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
But this is cool.
What I'll do is
let me see if I can move these up. Let's move these over this way.
Yeah, that way the spread can. So if anybody out there wants to have a reading, if you want to come to the next expo, the next expo is in Melbourne, Florida, on the 21st and 22nd, Saturday and Sunday of next month, May. I forgot what facility that was. It's not the fair.
Melbourne. Oh, that's so crazy.
I don't even remember. Don't worry about it. I'll put the information. Go to the website. The Conscious Radio Network website is the be all end all of all the information that you need to find, but I will have it in the description of this video. But
you can get the address.
You can get the address there. All the information will be in the on the website or here. But,
I remember the address is 625 East Hibiscus Boulevard. I think it is. In Melbourne.
625 East Hibiscus Boulevard, Melbourne.
Yes.
Melbourne, Florida.
Right. I just don't remember the name of the venue.
Me neither.
It's a large venue, though.
Yeah, but it is going to be a large venue.
Yeah.
But yeah, That's on the 22nd and 21st and 22nd of May. You can come out, have a reading with Evie.
Evie.
And but if you want a private reading, if you just want to reach out to her in person and go to her website, which is
www.fairy.com. I'm sorry, www.fairydustcardreadings.com.
There you go. www.fairy
Fairydustcardreadings.
plural.com.
Right.
Awesome.
That's right. Yeah, and there's a contact me section on there where they can definitely contact me.
Okay.
I don't have the May event up yet on it, but the person that helps me with my website, she was in the hospital, and I don't want to ask her to do too much work yet. So my website is not current in terms of the events that are going on.
All right.
But everything else is there. They can definitely contact me through the website.
Awesome.
And if they want to email me, they can email me at fairydustcardreadings@gmail.com.
There you go. Fairy dust card readings at gmail.com.
Right.
Awesome.
There you go.
Unbelievable.
That was great.
But anyway, check out more on the website. Don't forget to subscribe to Conscious Radio Network. Go to our website, consciousradionetwork.com. Tune into more videos on here on the YouTube channel. And don't forget, next month, yes, our next expo is in Melbourne, which is the 21st and 22nd of May. We'll be in West Palm Beach in
June.
That's June. Don't ask me the days yet. I'll have all of this will be posted on the website, and any updates through our Facebook page. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. I've been putting together some of these like promotional type things to help build the subscriptions and stuff like that to the YouTube channel and followers and stuff like that. A couple days ago, Jerry McDaniel, we offered free readings to people if they just subscribed and commented to the page and stuff like that. That we would pick 3 lucky winners to have readings and stuff like that and whatnot, and want to be if you would like to offer a service like that and stuff like that. Awesome.
I would definitely do that.
Okay.
So if you want the 3 readings, that'll be fine.
So
all they have to do is let me know that they found out about me through
mention email Evie at her website, Fairy Dust Card Readings plural at gmail.com. Mentioned Conscious Radio Network. I subscribed, and definitely put a comment below the video, and then and
the first 3 people that contact me, they'll be able to get a free reading, a free 15-minute reading.
There you go. Sounds like a deal.
There you go.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for tuning into Conscious Radio Network. Please subscribe, comment, and tell friends, family, peeps, and peers, everyone out there. I will talk to you all later. Thank you.